Yo, I saw this video and I just wanted to have a discussion about it. I think that as Christians, as believers, there's a lot that we can take from the secular community. This video, there's a lot in this video that I think we can talk about. Diddy got these men out here crying, man. Diddy got these grown men out here crying, and I think that we can take something from it. So let's take a look at something before we even start. Let's go ahead and shape this with 2 Timothy 1:7. For God has not given us a spirit of fear, but of power and of love and of a sound mind. Let's reverse engineer that. If we do not have a sound mind, if we do not feel that we are loved, if we feel as though we are powerless, then that means that we have a spirit of fear. A spirit of fear, faith over fear. That's the meaning of this channel. That's why fear is purple. Because fear is not real unless we make it real. Just like the color purple. More on that later. And if we do have a spirit of fear, then that means it is not of God. It is not of God. So we have to start there. Before we watch any of this, we have to start there. We have to start considering, do we have the Spirit of God in us? Does someone else have the Spirit of God in them? So let's go ahead. Let's go ahead and take a deep dive into day 26 interview about Puff Daddy.
If you look at what's happening now, as we're sitting here and having this interview, and afterwards we're going to go have some dinner and live our lives, Diddy is sitting in a federal holding facility, possibly facing life in prison.
Right.
That's sad in itself as well.
I didn't see this coming.
Nobody did.
No one could have predicted 5 years ago that Diddy would be facing life, no bail.
Yeah.
With all the other crazy stuff that came out. Like, for example, were you guys around Cassie at all?
Yeah. She's our close, good friend.
Good friend. Did you see any of the abuse?
Not at all.
Yeah.
Not at all.
Yeah. Of course not.
When you saw that video in the hotel hallway.
Yeah, that was fucked up.
Man, that could be any man and any woman. That was not deserved. You know what I'm saying? No matter whether it was Diddy and Cassie or whoever it was, that just is ridiculous, bro. I couldn't.
Yeah, that was horrible.
I mean,
no way it could be my daughter.
That video was awful. And, I mean, he's being held right now under a RICO. But I've said this publicly. I don't quite understand how one person could be a RICO.
I've said the same exact thing. They have that man in there on the wrong charge. They have him in there. I've been saying this, and you heard it here first. Mark my words. That Diddy's. I don't believe he's going to do real time. I really don't. I think there's something bigger at play here, and I think he's going to get time served. I think he's going to get off, because a RICO is a huge charge for versus domestic violence versus having freak offs. I mean, there's nothing illegal about what your sexual preferences are. So I'm trying to wrap my mind around what they really have against him.
And I understand the freakiness, and he likes to see other dudes sleep with his woman. And,
allegedly.
Whatever. Like that. That's
Allegedly.
Allegedly.
About it.
He may or may not be bisexual. Whatever. All that's legal. I don't quite understand what exactly he's being charged with.
Me neither.
Do any of you really understand?
I mean, other than him other than that.
No, but he's not being charged for
exactly.
that. That's past the statute of limitations.
He's paid off or whatever, right?
Yeah, she settled.
Yeah. I don't know, because you can't. I don't think you can go to jail for Vaseline or baby oil.
Yeah, but now you got baby oil back on the shelves again.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
He hasn't been buying out the world supply anymore.
Yeah.
Yes.
I think he's a danger to the world.
Now, right here, Q is the main he's the main emphasis of this entire segment. So you see, he's ready to speak up. He wants to say something, but he's gonna take his time.
Right now,
I think trafficking. They said sex trafficking and I think it's racketeering.
Racketeering.
Yeah, that's the
like
RICO
that.
part.
yeah,
Man.
racketeering is like
But I don't, like I said,
You got-
we don't know nothing about none of that. We hear the same thing y'all hear from social media.
like when you start traveling
Oh, this is
and
bullshit.
people start traveling and there are a bunch of like moving parts.
Yeah.
And a person has been accused of that. Like you know it.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's just.
I mean, there's a million stories and conspiracy
It's weird.
theories out there right now. So me, I'm just waiting on the judgment day because I don't know. I've never really experienced none of the bad stuff that everybody talking about. You know what I'm saying? And I do see some stuff that's weird. Like you can't go to jail for baby oil. Why is this even a part of the? You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
Like it's just certain things that don't ring right to me. And I'm not one of the people that's gonna believe everything I hear anyway. But
Well, I
whatever
was with
wrong-
Dirty Money and I sung background for them when I wasn't a part of Day 26. So I was able to be around them through the album process of them creating Last Train to Paris. And what I witnessed was a sober Sean and a regular Sean. Like when he's regular, he's very cool, very giving. Like it will invite you to dinner. You know what I mean? Feed you around this table. What up, Playboy? What up? Be very excited. Then I saw a high Sean too, which was very dangerous. So that's why I said I feel like he's in jail, and I'm not judging anybody because I think he needs prayer and help. But he's in jail because he's a danger to himself.
Now let me stop you here. This is why I feel like this is something we can take. There's something we can take from the secular community and something we can take from this video. He said he needs prayer. To me, when you use the word prayer, when you talk like that, you're telling the world, or you're saying that I'm a believer. Now I don't know what he believes in, but you only prayed but okay, so let's go.
First of all, and he's a danger to the world right now. And I think there's a lot of people that are scared that didn't come out in the beginning, that are very scared because it's a scary situation. It's not just him that could possibly hurt you. It's people around him that are still close to him that could hurt you, or it's just really deep, man, with Sean. So I would say I think he's in jail right now just for a good reason.
Well, I did an interview with Roger Bonds, who was in security. Was he around you guys?
No.
No?
I don't think he was around. Well, you was around.
I was around Roger Bonds.
He was around him, right. And he witnessed all the abuse.
Yeah.
But, what you're saying is, basically consistent to what he was saying was that Diddy was, over time became a drug addict.
Yeah.
He would go on these drug binges. Him and Cassie would lock themselves in these hotel rooms for 3-4 days, go on these binges, and during the binges, that's when allegedly the free coughs happen or whatever else. And then they would go and get IVs.
Yeah.
And you know what I'm saying? Try to rejuvenate themselves.
That's a fact.
And then
Damn.
a week or two later, go through the same type of thing.
He's also the person that said that Diddy said that he never cared about making a band, and he never planned on using making a band successful. Like it was
just basically like a lit for him.
yeah, like he never really had a business
That
mind
was
for
James
it.
said that.
Well, my thing with Roger Bonds
I thought that
was
was Bonds.
like I had an issue with him, and I was kind of like nervous around them because I was in the email, and I saw some things in a personal email that threw me off guard.
Like what?
I don't want to go into details right now, but it just threw me off guard. You know what I mean? To make me be like, you know what I mean? Like I understand you crying now and of the trauma that you've seen, but what about me, bruh? Mm-hmm. Like, what about the trauma you put me through when I read that email?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, that's why it's just not like Sean that's guilty. They're all fucking guilty, man. Like, and I don't just put the blame on Sean. I blame everybody that's in his circle. They're all minions and they want to be like him. And if they can't be like him, they try to come against him. If they don't got the money or they can't get it as quick as him or whatever he's doing to get it, then all of a sudden it's like, let's turn against him now. You know what I mean? Because I guess whatever. I don't know.
Well, you said that you've seen the drugged out Diddy.
Yeah.
What would happen during those times?
Well, I mean, I can't. I'll keep it very short. Things felt very sacrificial.
Shit.
Okay, explain.
I can't, and I don't want to sound like I'm a conspiracy person too. You know what I mean? Because I'm not. But when you're under a power, man, it's just you. I can't go into details now, but sir, like, I'll tell you, it felt like some sacrificial stuff was going on, man. Like, it felt very scary and weird to where I ran to get help. I ran to my doctor. I spoke up with my family. I spoke up to people around me because I was like, if this is true, and I'm caught missing or dead or something, I want you guys to know facts and the truth of what I'm going through and experiencing.
Did you have this conversation with the rest of the group?
Yeah, they know.
So when you guys heard this,
We was in tears. Like,
oh,
yeah.
wow.
In tears. Real, I love my brother, what's going on, tears. Real hurt, pain. Like that.
I got to get an injection in my arm every month for mental health now for the rest of my life.
What's the
They diagnosed me as schizophrenic and bipolar. The same thing, kind of like what Fred said he was going through. But it's just, I didn't experience suicide thoughts. I experienced other thoughts of being harmed and stuff.
Yeah, I have people in my family who are both schizophrenic and other people that have been bipolar.
Yeah, it's real scary when you got to keep it to yourself.
Yeah.
You start doing things. I was like walking around Rochester, bruh. Like, it's...
All right, now, this is when it starts to pick up, but I just want you to pay attention to everybody's body language. As the conversation starts to, as Q starts to really open up about this time of his life, you can tell everybody knows, man. Everybody had his back, you know. Everybody had his back. And the guy in the back with the sunglasses, he wants to say something so bad. He probably was the most angry out of all of these people. He probably was the most angry and probably was the most supportive at that time, to be honest.
Like, I really lost myself for years. And I don't cry about this no more because I'm stronger. But it's like, I was going crazy, bro, trying to figure out what's going on. And the things that I was feeling are coming to light now, and I'd be like, whoa, it had to be God, intervening and removing me from that situation because it could have got really, really bad. So
there it goes. It had to be God. It had to be God. So he is professing to be a believer.
Yeah, man, I'm sorry to go through that.
it's okay.
Yeah.
It's not
At
okay.
least they found something that
And he's not
helps you
okay.
out to stabilize you. So I
Yes.
think a lot of people, they self-medicate, whether it's with pills or
Right.
whatever else. Yeah, man, I'm glad you're okay.
Yeah, I'm okay.
He's okay to a certain extent, but he's not okay. None of these men are okay.
I'll give you guys a minute.
Yeah, I guess if this would never came out, I still would have been secret about it. I wouldn't just snitch.
Yeah.
Cause I'm not no snitch. I was gonna just deal with it. And I don't know why somebody that evil would. I don't get it. I don't know why somebody would do that to a talented, passionate people.
Yeah.
We talented, passionate people. I don't understand. No, it's okay, bro. I don't understand why someone would sit down and think about hurting someone. I don't know. Or laugh about it after they do it, I don't get it. I don't.
Listen, I'm not trying to laugh at this man, but if that's how Diddy laughed when he did all of this stuff, you should have known right there.
That's why I said none of them are innocent. I'm not here to expose anybody, but none of them are innocent, man. None of them are innocent. Y'all all coming after this man for millions of dollars when y'all were a part of it as well. Y'all were down too. That's not fair. That's not fair to him. It's not fair. Fair to me.
It's not fair to people that with actual story that actually been affected by that, because then it make everybody seem like they just try out to get something or, whatever, opposed to it being real people that went through real stuff.
Did you ever confront Diddy about this?
I kept trying to get in contact with him because all I wanted was an apology. All I kept saying, like, could you apologize? Like, could you just apologize for what I can't talk about right now? But I just wanted to apologize because something was wrong with me, man. Something was wrong. And like on your last Vlad interview, you could look at me and tell like something was wrong. Like I wasn't the enthused person. I wasn't cute. I looked like stressed. I looked like I was in a dark place. So like you could tell like something was wrong. Like,
Yeah.
He said all he wanted was an apology. How many of us just want an apology? How many of us just want an apology for something that someone did to us? And to be honest, a lot of us we won't ever get that apology. And that's what's so difficult about biblical forgiveness. We're supposed to forgive people who devastated our lives. And that's hard. That's very difficult. You know, I think that the Bible is so important to understand and read. He said that all of them were guilty, all of them. And this is where, scriptures like this come into play. 1 Corinthians chapter 15, starting at verse 33. Do not be deceived. Evil company corrupts good habits. Awake to righteousness and do not sin, for some do not have the knowledge of God. I speak this to your shame. Some do not have the knowledge of God. So it's almost like we can't really hold them accountable for some of their actions almost. That's why it's best to just stay away from them, because evil company corrupts good habits. And a part of me wants to feel sorry for these brothers, especially Q, but a part of me wants to say, well, I mean, you kind of put yourself in that situation at the same time. So I just think that there are different types of tears that we can shed. And when I saw this video, the first thing that I thought of is that the tears of a black man are never cheap. My nephew lost his daughter in a drive-by. She was 10 years old, I believe. And when I talked to him on the phone, I've never heard someone cry the way he cried. Never. I've never heard someone cry the way he cried. The amount of pain that I heard I can't even describe it. And I've heard people, cry because they've broken up with someone, they've lost their job, or just in general, these types of tears that he's crying right now, this emotion that he's experiencing, what I'm hearing is deep regret, deep regret, and also reflection. When you reflect on the times where you probably knew better but didn't do better, that's where I think that's where these tears are coming from. Those times where you knew you should have awakened, and you probably were awakened to the righteousness, but you stayed, you continued. That's where I think he's feeling right now. And when it comes to tears, when it comes to crying, I wanted to show this. This was something that my pastor shared a few weeks ago. Jesus wept. Jesus wept. Let's look at this.
Number 2, Jesus wept. Wait a minute. The lily of the valley wept. The bright and morning star wept. The wheel in the middle of a wheel wept. Lawyer in a courtroom wept. Doctor in a sick room wept. He's Jehovah Jireh, Nisi, Shammah, Shalom, Tsidkenu, all wrapped in one. He wept. That man wept. I could see if it said Darius wept. It says Jesus wept. What does this teach us about a theology of sadness? Don't miss this. Jesus knows he's going to perform a resurrection, but he still weeps. Are you ready for this? This shows us that even when you know God's going to fix it, you still feel it.
There we go. Tears are a human emotion, and we have to go through those emotional times in our life. Even though we know deep down inside, we have the confidence that God is going to fix our situation, that God is going to provide for us, that God is going to make a change, but we still have those emotions, and it's okay. It's okay to experience that. It's okay. It's okay for these brothers to cry. It's okay. It's a needed thing. Tears are the highest form of emotion. Think about it. If you laugh, you ever laugh so hard that you cry, you're in tears, because tears show that you are at the highest point of your emotional state. Whether you are laughing, whether you are sad, whether you are grieving, whether you are reflecting on deep regret. So it's good they're getting this out of them. It really is. Let's look at this. This is Corinthians, 1 Corinthians 5 and 9. I wrote you in my letter not to associate with sexually immoral people. In no way did I mean the immoral people of this world, or the greedy and swindlers and idolaters, since you would then have to go out of the world. Like, you would literally not be able to be involved in this world. As Christians, if we are not to associate with the secular community, the non-believers, we would literally have to leave the earth. There's no way we would be able to be here because they're everywhere, right? We're surrounded by these types of people. But what he's saying is, what Paul says is here, it says, but now I am writing to you not to associate with anyone who calls himself a Christian. Now, I don't know what Puff Daddy Diddy's true religion is, to be honest. He talks about God. He talks about prayer. And I'm not sure if he's a Jesus. I don't know if he's a Christian. I don't know if he believes in Jesus. I'm unsure. But I don't know. Like he said, all of them are guilty. I don't know the people he's speaking about. But I'm willing to bet that some of them consider themselves Christian, who are sexually immoral or greedy or idolaters or verbally abusive or a drunkard or a swindler. He just talked about how there was a sober Diddy who was great, the benefactor. Then there's the drunk Diddy, the high Diddy, who was dangerous. They talked about how the TV show that Diddy was doing, he was swindling. He had no real plan for that group. He was swindling, taking advantage of them. He goes as far as to say, do not even eat with such a person. We don't break bread. We don't break bread with these kind of people. For what do I have to do with judging those outside? Are you not to judge those inside? But God will judge those outside. Remove the evil person from among you. So that's why I say I'm torn. On one side, I feel bad. I feel really, really sorry. I feel sorry, and I can connect with what this person is feeling. But on the other end, it's like, woe is me needs to become whoa, it's me. When in our lives, when we're going through these situations, do we have to realize that we have to take some of the blame for some of the situations we put ourselves into? And I think that's where his tears come into play, because he's regretting. There's deep regret that he knew better and he should have did better. But when we're chasing money and fame, it's like we don't want to miss out on those opportunities. I'm going to end it with this. Psalms 1. How blessed is the one who does not follow the advice of the wicked, or stand in the pathway with sinners, or sit in the assembly of scoffers. Instead, he finds pleasure in obeying the Lord's commands. He meditates on his commands day and night. He is like a tree planted by flowing streams. It yields its fruit at the proper time, and its leaves never fall off. He succeeds in everything he attempts. Not so with the wicked. The Bible clearly tells us how we are supposed to behave, how we are supposed to sit, how we are supposed to stand, and how we are supposed to walk. And if we follow the commands, if we meditate on his commands, if we stay in the word, it is beneficial to us. It will keep us out of situations like this. It'll keep us within the light and out of the dark. So if you want to continue hearing videos like this, support my channel, like, subscribe. Faith over fear. Peace.